Greetings, everyone. I'm Jason Ross Jr. A sense of anticipation and a feeling of expectation. Welcome into the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. A new chapter commences of LTU soccer. The 2018 campaign begins with a matchup against Huntington University. The Foresters have traveled approximately 196 miles north for this battle with Lawrence Tech, and they have luminescent visions, just like Lawrence Tech. Head coach Andy Richards comes in saying that this team, regardless of what other teams throw against us, I think we are stronger this year, I think we are fitter this year, and we are definitely deeper this year. Gray clouds filled the skies over the Southfield A&T High School field earlier, but those have moved, and we hope for a bright match to unfold in front of our eyes today. With possession here early on, the Foresters get it underway, led by their head coach, and it is a young team renewed with new faces. Crossing here, a shot on goal. The first coming from LTU. The delivery came from Nybor, the junior. Wozniak. Huntington has lost their last two season openers. Both of these teams lost their season openers a year ago, attempting to change that fate this season. Not the typical home field advantage for the Blue Devils this year, but they'll take it as the construction is underway at Lawrence Tech Athletic Field. Obviously for the upcoming highly anticipated football season that will commence on September 1st. We'll have that broadcast right here for you on the LTU Sports Network. But for now, the focus is with the Blue Devils and the women's soccer program getting underway, along with the men's soccer program down in Notre Dame, Indiana. Blue Devils methodically moving it down offside. Appeared to be Mather in the offside position. Here's Nybor. Started outside, now galloping on inside. Had intentions for Sarah Trapp, one of the three seniors on this LTU roster, but couldn't quite find her there. Settling in early. Torres attempting to settle down. Now she'll move forward to Caitlin Mather. Once again, looking for Trapp, streaking down, watched warily there by Hannah Williams, the junior, on that back line for the Foresters. Delivered ahead, trying to get behind Torres, but a nice play made there by Erica Hoffman, the freshman making her Lawrence Tech debut. It was quite the successful scrimmage season for the Blue Devils, going 2-0, most recently a win over Goshen College. A couple of wins, but not fully satisfied, was head coach Andy Richards, saying he'll want to improve the set pieces that his team runs this afternoon. There were also plenty of near misses in that final scrimmage. Torres looking to clear. Here's Trapp. It was Catherine Highstead taking the ball off the foot of Trapp. First touch here for Sydney Clay. Both teams closing well to their markers in the midfield early on here. Torres giving chase, and it'll roll out. racing. Here is Clay. Galloping, shoots, and scores. The first of the season. They'll check it off the to-do list. 1 down, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. Sydney McClay, the freshman, her first career goal, and she puts the Blue Devils ahead. One of 4 freshmen on the roster that played for the Nationals club soccer team. High hopes for the freshman. And just less than about 6 minutes in, she has put the Blue Devils ahead.
LTU goal by number 2, Sydney McClay.
Megan Smith. Bailey Odell feeds it back. It was Sydney McClay getting things going less than 7 minutes in for the Blue Devils. And chasing after here, it is Jordan Adam. A shot and a nice play there made on the back line by Marie Ann Torres, better known as May. One of the 3 seniors, and she'll be a part of that group that needs to provide the leadership this year for the Blue Devils. She's done just that early on, but it was the freshman shining bright. Right on to Randy Jeanette. Sarah Trapp looking there, but denied, and they'll be turned back. Plenty of desire shown early on from both teams in the midfield, and plenty of passion defensively. Bologna now up to Trapp. McClay in the vicinity, and now she'll get her touch. Looking there for Caitlin Mather, but the ball is intercepted, and looking to start a counterattack. Here come the Foresters. The visiting Foresters of Huntington University are led by head coach Amanda Burge, who just, like Andy Richards, is entering her 3rd season at the helm. She is a former Huntington soccer player herself, brings a wealth of knowledge and playing experience to this job. comes Jordan Adam looking. And now that'll warrant a throw in. It's shut back. Almondo's preparing. LTU able to avoid near danger there, and now back they come. It's Trapp looking to push forward rather gingerly through the midfield. Bologna. Here's Torres. In goal for the Foresters is Autumn DeMott, the freshman, making her debut on the collegiate level. From Hastings, Michigan, one of the few Michiganders on this Forester roster, able to come back home, a bit of a homecoming for some of these players who now reside in Huntington, Indiana. Defensively, that was Jordan Messing, one of the senior captains for Lawrence Tech, although breaking through here come the Foresters denied, and a nice heady play there once again. It's Erica Hoffman, the freshman, one of 8 freshmen on this Lawrence Tech roster, one of the new faces. Jordan Messing spoke about all of the young turnover on this LTU roster and spoke about the competition that was in camp and the mentality of not losing your spot but competing hard just like everyone else is. One of the leaders. Here comes Trapp, a shot and a goal. That is Nybor, the junior from Grandville. Precise passing, and she'll cap it off. It is 2-0 LTU. Less than 12 minutes in. Sister Caitlin Mather, the 5'9" sophomore. Plenty of open space there for the Blue Devils, and they capitalized efficiently. 3 shots on goal for the Blue Devils. They've come away with 2 goals. Rebecca Almondos, the sophomore goalkeeper from Trinidad and Tobago. She'll send it on down. Mather galloping with a spirit of adventure. Here is McClay, already with 1 goal, in search of something else there, but couldn't quite squeak through. Bologna chasing after it. McClay chasing after it as well. Madison's Michaela Avina, the senior for the Foresters. trap. Back out, settling it down here. Breaking through a shot. It goes just wide. Delivered in by Elaine Nybor in search of her second goal within what would have been about 4 minutes and change. A dream start for Andy Richards' squad to this 2018 campaign. Mather delivers it ahead. Here comes Trapp. Possibly something here. Edge of the area. LTU was picked to finish 7th in this year's preseason poll for the WAC, but they've come out appearing as though they would like to prove some people wrong. 2 goals within the first 20 minutes. Here's McClay. Trapp settles it down, and she'll play it back to Almondo's. Laura Silverman, a transfer from the University of Detroit Mercy, is a part of a Detroit Mercy team that defeated LTU 5-0 a season ago, but she's transferred her allegiance and is now a Blue Devil, one of the 3 transfers coming into this Blue Devil program this season that Andy Richards is excited about. These are the situations where Coach Richards said he would like to hopefully improve from the scrimmages. Weren't able to create much danger in their set pieces in the scrimmages. That one sails wide of any possible opportunity of converting there. Three-5-2 formation for the Blue Devils this afternoon. Spoke to head coach Andy Richards before the game, and he told me he would like to utilize the width this afternoon. It appears as though they've done that. Breaking through here come the Foresters, galloping with a bit of space. Charging her way in, it was Sydney Everts. Unable to really get a touch in the box, though, although they will get a throw in from Ashton Patrick. She delivers. There's a shot turned away. Second chance. And now Trapp will look to settle things down. McClay looking to get behind the back line again. Couldn't quite do so there. Nyber will take over, feeding Silverman. Another attempt. I believe that might have went off the American football goalpost. Getting behind here comes Alyssa Wells. LTU once again able to get back defensively there in that 3-5-2 formation, and desire the ability to close quickly. That's helped them early on here, not giving much space. Prime example right there. Not allowing the Foresters to have much time to look up and turn. Once again, it was, at that time, searching for it, Ashton Patrick, but simply no space, simply no room to turn around and look up the field. Not enough time. About 20 minutes into this first half, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. Bit of a makeshift home field advantage, but it's felt like a home field advantage early on. The Blue Devils will play once more here on Saturday. One of, I believe, 7 non-conference games before conference play will get underway against Madonna, their rival. That game will be a night match on the LTU Athletic Field. We'll have that broadcast right here for you on the LTU Sports Network. Streaking down here in search of opportunity, but losing that opportunity quickly was Jordan Adam, the sophomore midfielder from Avon, Indiana. Bailey Odell. A bit of a nice run made there down the side by Millie Adams, the senior, but teammates couldn't find her down that left-hand side, and now they'll be pushed back once more. Nice defensive play and anticipation there. Erica Hoffman, the freshman, one of 2 freshmen really displaying what they could possibly do, appearing as though this freshman will live up to their possible potential this season. Hoffman and McClay have made significant impact through the first 23 minutes or so. Cassidy Krylak preparing to check in for Jordan Adam on the Huntington side. A couple of substitutions coming your way as well on the LTU side. A collision. Almondo's pulled out pretty far there, but once again, her back line supporting her well.
In the game now for LTU, number 6, Randy Jeanette, and also number 12, Madison Smith. In the game for Huntington, number 22, Jamie Calvin.
Randy Jeanette and Madison Smith enter the match for Lawrence Tech. Jeanette, the 5'7" junior from Holly, Michigan, returns from playing all 17 games a season ago for the Blue Devils, and Madison Smith, the transfer from the University of Illinois, Chicago. Expect to see significant time on the field for both of those players throughout this season. Chasing back here is Erica Hoffman. Wozniak trailing is Smith, but she'll go ahead to McClay with a spirit of adventure galloping down the right side. Nybor was approaching, but it appeared as though McClay made her way out of the field. And with under 20 minutes to play now here in the first half, it'll be Highstead for the Foresters, delivering back to her goalkeeper, DeMott. Torres, the Canadian, settles it down and then sends it over. That was Randy Jeanette just recently checking in, getting her first touch of the afternoon. Madison Smith was in the vicinity looking for her first touch of the afternoon. Shupbeck checks in for the Blue Devils substitution. She'll replace Lauren Wozniak.
In the game now, LTU number 7, Lindsay Shupbeck.
The transfer from Edinburgh University. And now down the left side, it was Nybor. She'll break through. Looking, still Nybor. Squares up, shoots. Not quite enough power, but a nice effort there. Elaine Nybor sure to be an impact player. Looking back to her freshman year when she started all 17 games, finished with 8 goals and 8 assists for the Blue Devils, 16 shots on goal last season. It's Madison Smith making her way down. McClay was in front of the net, but not enough luster on that crosser. Foresters have been pinned against the ropes over the past few minutes, unable to truly make their way out of their own half with any kind of intent, any kind of intention, and any kind of promise. Nice job to win the ball there from May Torres. She'll go back on to Bailey Odell. The junior tried to feed her fellow junior Madison Smith, but the connection was not to be. McCown. Another good defensive play by Torres, and now here comes Shupbeck, recently checked in, looking down that line for Caitlin Mather. Caitlin Mather played in 11 of 17 games as a junior, one of 7 sophomores on the roster, a goal last year. Goals and visions of possibly the WAC postseason and success in the WAC postseason this year for the Blue Devils. Also goals of the national tournament for this LTU team. Plenty of optimism. There's great leadership. And they did say it would feel a bit different today. Added pressure knowing that this game does obviously actually count. And they've played up to those standards this afternoon so far. Quick 2 goals for the Blue Devils, currently leading 2-0 and looking to add on to that advantage. It's been a start that you couldn't have drawn up any better. It's been a day that you couldn't have drawn up any better for this opener and for these Blue Devil supporters. First of many broadcasts this year on the LTU Sports Network. And the Blue Devil women have provided a lot of excitement so far for us. Moving down the wing and a shot there. Shupbeck in the vicinity, but couldn't quite get a second touch. A nice save made there by Autumn DeMott, who comes up gimpy. possession percentage certainly favoring the Blue Devils over the past 15-20 minutes.
And for the Foresters now, number 30, Blair Kumler.
Blair Kumler in for the Foresters, the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Fort Wayne High School. 3 games played last year. We'll see if she could possibly up the involvement this year for the Foresters. Most of the goals for the Foresters and pretty much virtually every goal returning for Huntington comes from Matea Knispel, and we haven't seen much of her early on here. 18 goals a season ago for Knispel. It'll be a tough void to fill in terms of scoring for this Forester team. And right now, they're only focusing on keeping the ball out of their own net, down 2-0. They've been reduced to a lifeless carcass early on. It was Shupback trying to make her way in there. Couldn't quite do so. Now here comes Torres, meeting the ball and the player. Aggressive confidence from Lawrence Tech here. A little bit of open space for Shupback, but no one in the vicinity on the subsequent pass. Here's Highstead. Started 15 of 20 games a year ago for Huntington. This is the width that Lawrence Tech spoke about, head coach Andy Richards spoke about in the pregame. Worked for them in that sequence, getting down and creating a bit of danger for Huntington. Back the other way come the Foresters, though. Offside was Ashton Patrick. That was really the only plausible target there for Huntington, and she was behind the play.
I feel like I would be doing a lot better if I could see, but I don't know how it's looking on
Here we go. Good step, Ray.
Mentioned that preseason poll that has LTU slotted in as 7 ahead of them. Cornerstone and Concordia, Aquinas, Madonna, Siena Heights, and Northwestern Ohio has been picked at the top of the conference this season. But the Blue Devils once again trying to show that they could possibly shake things up. Smith delivers in. Mather turns. Nothing able to create there, but they'll keep it on the edge of the area. It's Shupback trying to navigate her way through. Has to play it on back. And intercepting that pass well before it could get to Torres was Ashton Patrick, and now they'll deliver ahead. A possible 2-on-1 developing here. Looking to engineer something, it's Courtney McCown. She'll play it on over to Jamie Calvin, who moves in. And a clean and nice tackle, they'll call it there from Torres. Approaching the final 10 minutes of this first half. The score 2-0 Blue Devils. Down, long effort, and that sails just long. Avery Jaguar, the freshman, attempting to cut the Lawrence Tech lead in half.
Well done, Huntington. Well done.
substitutions coming in here. Ayana Reed for Lawrence Tech. And
Well done, well done.
it'll be Bologna heading over to the bench. Nybor stays in. Ayana Reed will come in, the junior who can play in the midfield and on the back line. One of two Canadians on this Lawrence Tech roster. The other Canadian handles it right now. Here is Torres. She'll feed it over to Shupback, and now back they go. Looking to settle things down and possibly sit back and hold on to this lead in the final 8 minutes of the first half. They'll turn it over here in the midfield, though. A nice play made. And now visions of possibly starting something for the Foresters. Back comes number 7, that is Ashton Patrick. She'll play it ahead. There's a shot and a sprawling save made by Almondos. She's had to make a couple of real efforts over the past couple of minutes, and she has done that well. Almondos keeps it 2-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. Mather, what an effort to get down that line there. Almost beat out the defender, and she did just that. Nybor, the crosser, came into the box, but deflected out prior to making its way over to Ayana Reed. Now in the midfield, closing quickly. It is Randy Jeanette. One of the substitutions, one of the many substitutions it's felt like have come in over these past 10 minutes or so on both sides. Utilizing the benches, and for Lawrence Tech, utilizing the width.
Here we go. LTU.
Shupback. Able to finesse the ball free, and now delivers a rather weak shot on goal, but a nice effort there once again from Lindsay Shupback, making her Lawrence Tech debut. Madison Smith coming into this matchup. The history provided a little bit of confidence for LTU. The Blue Devils have won the last 2 by scores of 3-0, and most recently, a September 17th of 2017 victory by a score of 2-1. Huntington's last victory over LTU came in 2015. There's a shot on goal, streaking down the right side. It was Ayana Reed. Approaching the final 5 minutes of this first half. Mather. There was a focus on fitness during the preseason camp and preseason scrimmages, and LTU appears to be all over the place this afternoon, not slowing down, especially Marie-Anne Torres, who's on the ball now. A perfect example of just that. It is tough at this level to get that fitness level that you truly desire because of the fact that you can't bring these girls in over the summertime. But they appear to be well coached, well prepared, and they lead 2-0. Here comes Nybor looking to settle things down. Mather on the left side. She'll send it towards the middle, galloping. Here comes Smith, edge of the area, looking to create something positive. Had it stripped away. It was Regina Delph, one of the freshmen from Hamilton, Michigan, on the Forester side, but that will lead to an LTU possession. Keeping it here are the Blue Devils, but not before a substitution. Looks like Nybor checking out there, and Alexis Barnes making her way on in.
In the game now for your Blue Devils, number 22, Alexis Barnes, and number 16, Angie Demopoulos.
So Barnes will take the corner. Once again, an area where the Blue Devils are searching for improvement. The header, and that goes well high. No danger that time for Dumont and the Foresters. LTU hoping to improve on last year's non-conference play, hoping for improved consistency. The Blue Devils defeated Huntington in a dramatic fashion a season ago during non-conference play. Speaking of Elaine Nybor, it was Nybor who produced the equalizer in the 76th minute of that game. Sarah Trapp scored 10 seconds into the second overtime. At the time, that was the third victory of the season for the Blue Devils. They've scored much earlier than the 60th minute when they produced that first goal in last year's matchup. The goals came quickly and swiftly, less than 10 minutes in. The Blue Devils were leading 2-0.
Also in for the Blue Devils, number 26, Julia James.
Julia James in as well for Lawrence Tech. James, the dual athlete, a biomedical engineering major as well. Quite the busy schedule for the sophomore at 5'7". Again, one of 7 sophomores on this Lawrence Tech roster. Dimopoulos back to Almondos. Settling it down here, Calvin. Approaching the final 70 seconds now of this opening half. The quote from Coach Richards was, regardless of what other teams throw against us, I think we are fitter this year, I think we are deeper this year, and we have some high aspirations. They've shown the desire to accomplish those goals early on here. A couple of threats from the Foresters, but it was Almondos coming up big. Torres. Alexis Barnes. Lindsay Shupback. Serpentining her way in. A long attempt. Loose. Here's a shot. And it's squeak in. Looking for the perfect finish to the first half. Just narrowly unable to do so. Moving in there was Julia James with a sense of energy right off the bench, but just barely couldn't do so. Still a 2-0 score in favor of Lawrence Tech after the first half. We'll return to you after the 15-minute break right here on the LTU Sports Network.
Saturday night. You can get your Blue Devils in action also on August 31st at 7 o'clock at night. And the first home football game is Saturday, September 1st at 1 o'clock.
delivered Stevens package. My mom's getting it. Bring it through. Avery's pills got delivered from the porch. My mom and dad brought it.
Starters for the second half for Huntington, number 0, Autumn DeMott, number 3, Jordan Adam, number 4, Millie Adams, number 6, Bailey Odell, number 7, Ashton Patrick, number 8, Courtney McCown, number 12, Michaela Avina, number 16, Avery Riviere, number 18, Hannah Williams, number 20, Megan Smith, number 34, Catherine Heitstein.
Getting ready for the second half of play on the LTU Sports Network. Welcome back in. A 2-goal first half for the Blue Devils. It was early lightning strikes from the Blue Devils, and they now carry quite the advantage. The possession time certainly favored them in the first half, and they look to keep that going here. In the midfield, getting underway are the Foresters. Avery Jaguar turned back there. The Blue Devils won the battles in the midfield in the first half, and they'll look to resume that here early on in the second. It's Jaguar once more, leading down that line. Torres in the vicinity, able to meet the ball and play her right on point. Down they go once again. Huntington. Dimopoulos. The header, missed effort from McClay, and the Foresters will take back over. Shut back, a nice play there to jar it loose. Michaela Avina working into Matei Knispel. Tight lockdown defense there. It was shut back. Foresters unable to really receive the ball and take those half turns. They really have received the ball for the most part with their backs turned to the goal and their back turned to their markers, and have quickly lost it for the most part. Very active. This Blue Devil team appears to be very fit. Highstead settles it down, but quickly returns back to midfield, and now on it, here is Sydney McClay, the goal scorer in the first half. She'll look to settle things down rather methodically, leading down the left side. It was Nybor looking to make her way in, one of the junior players who will certainly have a high impact on this team. Another high impact player, Torres, jarring the ball loose there. And now once more, here comes Nybor, serpentining her way free, leading in Shutback, thinking of something positive, but unable to get any kind of true luster on that ball. Couple of minutes in, and the field has opened up a bit for both sides. Caitlin Mather. It's Michaela Avina, the senior from Pettisville, Ohio, delivering it ahead, and that effort was quickly deterred. Alexis Barnes substituted in the first half, leading down the field. This is Waziak. Not a warrant to throw in from Barnes. Looks and goes to the easiest option out wide. This is the width that Coach Richard spoke about. That time looking to get something going was Randy Jeanette. Moving her way in, Shutback, able to get past two. Now three. This is still Shutback. Shutback, a little bit of space. Moving in, unable to find anyone in front of the net, but it goes right back out. It's Nybor on that left-hand side, centering a shot. They're taken by Caitlin Mather. And the save made by Autumn DeMott. With how this game is played out so far, the pressure and the consistency of possession that LTU has been able to hold on to, that save might have been the one that could have possibly saved any kind of realistic chance for this Forester team to possibly make an impact here. They come back down the right-hand side. The midfield has opened up a little bit for them through these first few minutes, but that shot goes well wide. Not much of an effort, and now it will be Almondo's. Almondo's made a couple of brilliant efforts on her own net in that first half, and now she'll get it out here. Clearing it is Torres. Chasing after it is Highstead, and Huntington will look to regroup. They've traveled about 196 miles to get here, have the Foresters, but they haven't been able to create as much as they desired early on here. It's Michaela Avina working against Sydney McClay. Avina gets it back on a tad bit of a run there. Once again, trying to make her way past Barnes. But Barnes wins the day, and now she'll look for McClay. Considerable height and size advantage there, working against the smaller defender. Now they'll look down that right-hand side. Here comes Wozniak, moving her way in, progressing and battling and fighting, but unable to get through. And Barnes will deliver it back on over. Looking to counterattack here now are the Foresters. Can they settle it down? They'll loft it ahead, but too long, too quick. Searching for something efficient, but not something that will work for them. Bailey Odell. Back over to Jaguar. Torres continues her brilliant effort with passionate defense as she has played all afternoon long on this fresh turf. Brand new field here at Southfield A&T High School, where the Blue Devils will play for a couple of games. They'll be back at it here on Saturday at 5 p.m. That broadcast will be on the LTU Sports Network. That'll be the second of 10 women's soccer broadcasts right here on LTSN. The LTU women finished last season off with a first-round exit from the WAC tournament in Lima, Ohio. They seem to have forgotten about that negative day and turned this one into such a positive one, to this point at least. Still plenty of time to go. A couple of efforts from the Forester side, so this one nowhere near over yet. Huntington will take on the rival of Lawrence Tech next, Madonna. That'll be on one of their 9 non-conference opponents before taking on Grace College to get Crossroads League play underway, as the Blue Devils now find themselves pinned back again a bit here in their own half of the field. Gager chasing after it there was Ashton Patrick, the freshman from Mansfield, Ohio, and Mansfield Christian High School. Matea Knispel. Once again, the WAC preseason poll at the top. Northwestern Ohio, most teams getting underway this week. Siena Heights, Madonna, Aquinas, Concordia, Cornerstone, and Lawrence Tech penciled in and predicted to finish 7th in conference play this year, but they have desires that reach far beyond their predestined destination, and they've played well so far. 2-0, the Blue Devils lead it. About 9 minutes in to this second half in the 10th minute of play. Barnes up ahead. Can McClay outrun her opponents? Outnumbered there. Here's Barnes once more. Looking for McClay once more down the right-hand side. Giving chase there was Megan Smith. Barnes. LTU feels that they have strong connections on the field. There was a focus on getting used to the system and developing relationships during the scrimmages that they were able to go 2-0 during. Plenty of new faces, overall a young team, plenty of figuring out to do. But the connections appear to be evident this afternoon. This is the area of the field where LTU has won the battles for the most part. Things have opened up a bit though, a couple of yards of space, much more considerable, at least for the Foresters here in the second half of play. And they'll look to take advantage of that. It's Jordan Adam. Down the left-hand side went Millie Adams, the senior. But Almondo is well out of her goal, will cover it up. Millie Adams, one of this group of a pretty high number of seniors on this Forester team, and they return 8 seniors after losing 8 to graduation a year ago. Could prove to be effective for this Forester team, but the question mark coming in was scoring, undoubtedly, and that has been the issue so far. Credit to the Blue Devils, but you look at the production from a year ago on this Forester team, and they lost quite a bit. Leading the way last year was Knispel, but not too far behind her was Brandy Spear. Spear graduated, obviously, so you have to come up with the assessment that another forward will need to take assertiveness in this 2018 campaign for Huntington. Hopefully score at least 10 goals. You could expect at least 15 from Knispel, but perhaps where is your other production coming from? You have to wonder what's going through the minds of these Forester players right now as they try to claw their way back into this one. Still over half an hour to play here at Southfield A&T High School. Madison Bologna. McClay. Bologna. Now McClay. Almost got the turn. Can Bologna keep possession? She cannot. Coming back, it's Jamie Calvin. Nice play from Bologna. This crowd continues to watch with satisfaction. Shutback. She's shown the ability to be strong on the ball, and she does it again there. Jeanette, and out of play. Great effort from Lindsay Shutback this afternoon. The interior design major from Rochester, Michigan, and Vardar Club Soccer. Working her way down the right-hand side, it was McClay. Deterred, here's Bologna. Looking to get an effort, settled down 2 efforts, but neither one of them could produce anything. Corner will come in from Barnes. The Blue Devils make the proper adjustments. Settle in. Unable to find anything. Torres moves her way in and couldn't quite settle down. Back on this one, laying back in midfield was Erica Hoffman, the freshman, who stayed back, and now her The group on that back line that has played so well will join her. Torres and Randy Jeanette, the junior, along with Barnes. Defending well for the Blue Devils this afternoon. So passionate with their defensive play, not allowing the Foresters to get much balls with open space. Although here, a delivery down the left-hand side, and it goes to Millie Adams. She'll look to settle it down, watched there by Jeanette. Now they'll look to adjust to the ball as a compact unit. Ball is delivered on, and Almondo's another save. Almondo spoke about the excitement of playing in front of the home fans after practice yesterday. And the home supporters have showed up, despite this not being the traditional home field advantage. Trying to turn the corner here is Jordan Adam. Courtney McCown. And back. Working here, McClay. Scored her first career goal earlier today. Sarah Trapp checks back in. Sydney McClay, the goal scorer who ignited the scoring today. She'll head off to the bench. A very respectable effort today from McClay. One of the freshmen that could have a significant impact. She appears to be willing to live up to the expectations. And there's a shot from Wozniak that couldn't get through, went off the back heel, I think, of Michaela Avina. Into the final half hour of play now. On this wonderful August afternoon, the opener on the LTU Sports Network and the women's soccer opener. .75 degrees, bit of clouds in the sky, but absolutely perfect temperature. Couldn't ask for a better day for a season opener. Delivery from Barnes. Trapp made an effort at it. Substitution for Lawrence Tech. Lindsay Shupback, another player who provided such a respectable effort this afternoon. She'll head to the bench quite possibly for the final time. And checking in for her, Laura Silverman, back in, the transfer from the University of Detroit Mercy, who was a part of a 5-0 victory over Lawrence Tech last year as a Titan. But now she's in the blue and white. And we hope to see an impact from her throughout the season, along with transfer Madison Smith from the University of Illinois Chicago. Silverman now. Avina. Bologna, a nice play. Avina will take over and deliver over to Highstead. Down the right side, a nice quick touch there. And now the Foresters will look to move ahead. Breaking through traffic here. It comes Jamie Calvin. And a nice play by Almondo's coming out of her net. Calvin, incredulous, looking for a call, but to no avail. It's Almondo's once again coming up big after a big chance there from Calvin. Bailey Odell up ahead to Millie Adams. Her younger sister Abby is on the roster following her footsteps. And now here comes Adams, edge of the box. And she'll deliver the crosser in. And it's in the back of the net. The first one of the afternoon for the Foresters. And they sliced the Lawrence Tech lead in half. Millie Adams engineering that effort. And it's now 2-1 with 22 minutes to play. Still a game that could produce a thrilling finish. This one nowhere near over, and the Foresters prove that. It is now 2-1. 22:30 to play here in this second half. These two teams went to a second overtime a season ago. It was the Blue Devils finishing off that game 10 seconds into the second overtime. But it was a bit of a different matchup, a bit of a different flow of the game because it was the Blue Devils on the other side of this deficit. They had to claw their way back, scoring in the 60th minute. And now
Huntington goal by number 7, Ashton Patrick.
Ashton Patrick put that one in the back of the net. It was Millie Adams on the assist. And now once again with a bit of momentum come the Foresters. Down the left-hand side, it's Millie Adams once again. Can she do something once again? Centers it, and Almondo's makes a rather easy play. Almondo's the delivery as the feelings get a bit more tense. The pressure gets a bit more palpable. And these fans will look on as their team now leads only by 1 goal. Bologna. Settling it down, Wozniak. Silverman. A nice play in the midfield by the Foresters. And once again, this momentum continues. This time down the right-hand side comes Alexa Avery Jaguar. And now she'll try to settle it down. A nice nifty move there, lovely ball. And she delivers across, but only to be intercepted. Millie Adams. She's been quite the conductor over the past few minutes, but the whistles are blown. So Madison Smith will come in here for the Blue Devils. Lauren Wozniak will head out, and the junior with Division I experience will come on to the field now for the Blue Devils. Smith appeared in 4 games with the Flames last season, totaling 124 minutes. There are just under 21 minutes remaining in this one.
Blue Devils number 12, Madison Smith.
And an important just under 21 minutes left in this one. Both teams lost their season opener a season ago. They're looking to start this year off on a brighter note. Here's Barnes. Avina. Avina again, but this time out, and Barnes will take it back over. Alexis Barnes from Middleville, Michigan. Thornapple Kellogg High School. Middleville is about 2 hours away from the Lawrence Tech campus. Bit of a journeywoman compared to some of her fellow teammates. Trying to make their way through here once again are the Foresters. It's Millie Adams, watched warily by Alexis Barnes. Now in through the middle, a shot, a left-footed boot there that sails well wide and left. So Jessica Chajnacki will check in. Millie Adams will head out.
Again now for the Foresters, number 31, Jessica Chajnacki.
The sophomore from Allendale, Michigan. Making her return to her home state in this season opener. And here is Chajnacki. Still Chajnacki. Might have outran herself there. It was Ashton Patrick slicing the Blue Devil lead in half. And since then, the Foresters have considerably stepped up their possession percentage. And once again, that's on display now. Ashton Patrick. Jaguar hunts that ball down, but she's hunted down by a couple of white jerseys. Nyborg tries to jar it loose. Here comes Bologna. Had Mather going down the middle, and down the left-hand side, it was Sydney Trapp who substituted in this second half. Sarah Trapp. Seemed to like Smith taking those throw-in opportunities. She gets it in here now to Trap. Tries to work her way free. Bologna. Crosser into the box. A desperate effort made here by Randy Jeanette. Millie Adams back in for Huntington. She's been a key cog for Huntington there. An effort that sparked up, might have went off the right side of the foot of one of the Forester defenders there and caused an awkward spiral towards the goal of Autumn DeMott, who has conceded 2 this afternoon.
Back in for the Foresters, number 4, Millie Adams. Also, number 34, Catherine Heinsteed.
Along with Millie Adams comes Catherine Heisted into this one. A couple of seniors looking to make a late effort towards possibly the equalizer. It is 2-1 in favor of the Blue Devils. Torres. Jaguar looking to settle it down, unable to do so on that first touch was Jordan Adam, and that first touch might have been costly, and it was. Stripped free by Laura Silverman. Up ahead they go, chasing after it here is McClay. Mather, rather, and now here comes Nybor. Back to Mather, a little bit of open space, settles it down, shoots, scores! Caitlin Mather, the sophomore from Bloomfield, might have just perhaps put this one away for the Blue Devils. With 14:21 to play, she gets the lead back up to 2 goals. 3-1. Just 1 goal a season ago for Mather. She's on the board. Allie Nybor on the assist. They couldn't have dreamt of a better opportunity. So now down by 2 goals with time dwindling away for the Foresters. It was Mather with intent to score, and she completed doing just that. Now leaking out behind the defense, onside. Here comes Sarah Trapp. She'll look to settle things down. Gets it back to Nybor, the architect of that previous goal. Heisted on over to Bailey Odell. Odell with a little bit of space, she'll deliver. Looking for the long and quick ball, trying to advance things. They'll need to advance things rather long and quickly in these final 12.5 minutes if they want to make any kind of a effort here to tie things up. They won't have a very high chance of doing so. swaying momentum over the past 20 minutes or so. It was a nice start to the second half for Huntington, but answering back with about 14 minutes to play in the second half was Caitlin Mather. Ashton Patrick, the lone goal scorer for Huntington, will make her way back in for Alexis Lawyer.
Number 7, Ashton Patrick.
What? Except for the first like 10 seconds. He came up here and made me switch to this. He came up here and made me switch to this. I think because
Hannah Williams will tee things up here. The 5'5" junior from Huntington North High School gets it into the fray.
This is so much better. Like I can see everything.
But coming out of the pack
But,
is
like,
Silverman. She delivers and
I
clears.
have such a crook in my neck though, and like I keep having to like work around this like pole. It's a challenge. I was just worried I was moving the camera way too much.
LTU will
feels
probably
like
be
I'm always
probably be
moving.
fine sitting back on this lead
I mean,
for the
makes
for the final 10 minutes or so. Keep things rather safe and
I
keep
know.
things
They
consistent.
also have multiple camera angles, so it doesn't really, you know. Well, it just stinks because like it's not like you're like pressing the sport button.
Another substitution on the LTU side. This time it's Sydney McClay coming back in here.
Back in for your Blue Devils, number 2,
Oh, really?
Sydney McClay.
Oh.
McClay, the Romeo, Michigan native who got things underway tonight for Lawrence Tech.
Oh, my hand's going numb from this angle.
Here is McClay, turning with energy and aspiration. The corner delivery here from Nybor. Randy Jeanette. Shut back. Now Silverman will settle things down. Plays it back to Jeanette. And now Almondo's. Torres, who has had such an admirable appearance this afternoon, along with the rest of that back line for the Blue Devils. They've naturally slowed down in energy a bit, but the effort has not slowed down. Ashton Patrick cut the lead down to 1, but Caitlin Mather might have just put this one away. Under 8 minutes to play. As clouds begin to hover over Southfield A&T and this fresh new field. This game being one of the first played on this field. It'll obviously be a temporary home advantage for the Blue Devils. Just one more game on Saturday here.
Huntington 16 for 8.
Avery Giguere back in for the Foresters. In these final few minutes of effort. Right now they're pinned back in their own half.
Another corner kick? Yeah.
Blue Devils looking to get in the box here.
The things we do for media.
Second for the Foresters, number 16, Avery Richard.
Back in for your Blue Devils, number 25, Jordan Messing. Also number 3, Sydney Everett.
Jordan Messing and Sydney Efforts back out onto the field for Lawrence Tech. Now here's Shupback chasing after it. Shupback, a player who spoke about the spirit of this team, and when this Blue Devil team can play with a spirit, they can possibly be a different team. A team that performs like the one that did in this first half and for the majority of the second half. They'll look for that level all season long. Nice play made there by Messing right off the bench.
You probably don't know her, but there's this girl on LTU's basketball team.
Messing, one of the 3 seniors on this roster. She started in the last 33 games she's played, dating back to her junior year. A good job on and off the field. Once won the Champions of Character Award. And she once said that, going into her final campaign, that one of her favorite moments on campus was simply moving in, meeting all of her teammates, and building that camaraderie and sharing laughs and very memorable moments after arriving on campus. And now she is into her senior season, and it will be an important senior season for Messing if the Blue Devils aspire to make it far, possibly in the WAC postseason and possibly beyond that.
He just apparently really likes volleyball, so then I don't ever know if I say his last name.
Here is Messing. Final 5 minutes as the Blue Devil spectators watch with quiet satisfaction, hoping for a win here. Duel in the corner ensuing between Smith and a couple of Foresters. The Blue Devils win that battle, but not very long as McClay sent it out of play.
Huntington, 15 for 4, 8 for 3. Back in for the Foresters, number 15, Regina Delph. Also, number 8, Courtney McCown.
Courtney McCown and Regina Delph come in for the Foresters as the litany of substitutions continue here in this second half. Up ahead. Messing will deliver. Madison Smith in the vicinity, along with McClay, who she'll opt to go to. Here is McClay. Had intentions for Smith on a second effort. The ball falls out of play with 3:26 and counting here in this final half of play. Into the midfield where we go. This has been the area of the field where the Blue Devils have been so successful. It really sparked the energy of that first half and really sparked those first 2 goals. Defending so well, that led to the goals, and they really had the Foresters pinned back against the ropes for the majority of that first half, and it was a brilliant first 10 minutes from the Blue Devils. And now here's Shupback delivering back out, trying to settle things down. McClay, who will, she'll bring up her arms, not called for, whistle was blown there, but a controversial one to say the least. Bologna. Millie Adams, who started 15 of 17 games for the Foresters a season ago, was really the engineer, the architect, and developing a bit of momentum early on in the second half for the Foresters, at one point trailing 2-1 and looking as if they had the ability to possibly tie it up, but never could quite do that. And it was Caitlin Mather who appears to have put this one away. About 2 minutes to go here from Southfield A&T High School. Breaking out here comes Shupback. Leading up ahead is McClay. Here's McClay. She's already scored once today. She'll settle it down here out wide. The freshman from Romeo, Michigan, played club soccer with the Nationals and She's one of 4 players from Nationals Club Soccer, and it appears as though she will definitely live up to the excitement and the expectation of this season. She was given the start today, and that appears to be a very good decision. Silverman. She'll look to Messing. Alexis Barnes back in for the Blue Devils. Barnes has had possession on multiple occasions this afternoon. Madison Smith. Highstead.
1 minute remaining, 1 minute.
Final 60 seconds.
No, they have not gone in yet.
Delph. Highstead. Forrester's in search of some kind of improbable effort. Back to Regina Delph. She'll deliver a long, quick ball on in. You think perhaps they should have done that maybe about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, started delivering those longer, quick, but more risky balls as we wind down here at Southfield A&T High School. Just a clearance here, and that will settle things down. This fate is all but decided with 25 seconds remaining. Well out of her net is DeMott down the right-hand side. Jaguar, she checked in with energy, but that energy will be to no avail. Bologna. She'll play it back. And the applaud of this Blue Devil crowd will put a punctuation and a caption on an opening victory by a score of 3-1. It's Caitlin Mather with the third effort, and the Blue Devils will advance to 1-0 on the season. It was a pleasure to bring you this afternoon's game. I'm Jason Ross Jr. We'll see you right back here on Saturday. For now, goodbye.